Today is just a quick video on the differences between business process automation and digital transformation. So business process automation and digital transformation, they are not the same thing. Hi, I'm Dave and I help business leaders to use technology more effectively to grow their business, to reduce the risks and to make their IT work better and be less stressful. So today I want to talk about, yes, business process automation. Well, what is it? Basically, it's very simple. It's taking the processes that you have and making them digital. So for example, at the moment, say you sent invoices by post, say. So you mail merge some letters, you put them in envelopes, you print off the labels for the envelopes, stick them on the letters, send them off. Maybe instead of that, we could have a process so they were sent electronically by email. You're familiar with this change, yeah? Or maybe we can have a process where previously you used to rekey your invoices payable into your computer system and then your bookkeeper would do that. And now we've got systems that can automatically do optical character recognition and do that for you. So when we're talking about business process automation, what we're doing is we're taking the processes we have, the steps that we have, and pretty much just replicating them in software. But there's a much better thing we can do with IT, which is digital transformation. And the clue's in the word transformation. What we're doing is we're taking the process, we're going, let's throw it away and let's create a new process. So we start with what is our objective for this thing? What do we actually want to achieve? So for example, say we're looking at bookkeeping, the objectives is to make sure the business is making a profit. So with that objective in mind, what tools, techniques, processes might we want to put in place? It seems really simple, but it's actually very complicated. The great story about this is the one where this company, this management consultant went in and they had all these print out forms for each job that they did. And in the corner, they used to write a 0. And everybody said, well, we just do that on every form. It's like, well, what's it for? And he asked the whole team, nobody knew. And anyway, he was there for a couple of days trying to figure this out, what processes they need, what tools, techniques they should use. Anyway, he went into one of their cupboards and there was one of these, because the form had been photocopied and copied multiple times, so you could barely read any of the writing. Anyway, he went to this cupboard and there was one of the original forms sitting on the shelf, and it said in the corner, number of air raid sirens. So my point is that often we develop processes that don't make sense now. They made sense in the past because when there was during World War II, we needed to know about the air raid sirens. Doesn't make sense here in London anymore. Now, what you need to do a digital transformation project is not the same as a business process automation. Digital transformation, it can easily become too big. And we see this with things like SAP implementations, where people try and solve every problem in the business. Now, what I suggest you do is definitely look at the big tool that's going to do everything, but break the problem down. Take part of the business process you have at the moment and see if you can run it alongside. So say, example, you bought an ERP solution, which is does most of the business automation processes. And previously you had a CRM, a contact relationship management system. What you want to do is you want to stop using the CRM and start using the ERP, which is fine, but somehow the data has to be transferred from one to the other, and somehow the existing processes have to kind of work between the two. So one of the jobs I have is to try and work out what that model should look like, because what you don't want to happen is half the business being using the old system and half the business using the new system. It gets very complicated. So when you're doing digital transformation, you pick the piece of the puzzle you want to solve. So for example, say you used the CRM to do phone dialing, so you pressed a button and it rang people. So we could copy all the contacts to the ERP system and replicate that one function in the ERP system. Then later on we go, well, now we want to track our sales opportunities. Okay, so we copy all the sales opportunities from the CRM, put them into the ERP, and then we can use that bit of the process, that bit of the tool. By doing it this way, you're not trying to solve everything at once. You're not trying to put your business on hold, but in a new tool. Another great example of this that I've seen is where people are using spreadsheets and phone calls to manage a business process, and they want a tool that will do it. And they're really scared about taking on this tool because they don't know how it will work, what the process might be. So for that kind of process, you can do a thing called digitization. So you could use something like Trello, which is a Kanban board, and then you could put the different jobs in different columns, Maybe I can show you here, and then you can drag things around. I have a customer that used T cards to track their stock, and it was very difficult for them to find a way of replicating that in the tools that they had. So they ended up running both systems for a very, very long time. They had their new management system, but they also kept the cards because they wanted the visual representation. And actually that worked quite well because they had both systems for a long period of time. And then when they did want to digitize it, they knew exactly what it should look like, which isn't, by the way, a virtual T-card system. So there's a lot to unpick there, but what I really want you to get you thinking about is that when it comes to technology change, are you just automating what you have, or are you developing a new, different model for what your business process looks like? Hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. Speak soon.